Hello students, a hearty welcome to Global Online. In this video, we will be looking at logical reasoning unit and the topic that we will be discussing is mood and figures. So here in this video, we'll be understanding what mood is, what figure is, and then in a detailed explanation, I will tell you about this particular topic. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, let's look at the syllabus for logical reasoning. In the previous videos, I have already explained you what are arguments, what is the structure of argument. So here in this session, we'll be looking at mood and figure, and also we have seen classical square of opposition, and all these remaining topics we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. Okay, so let's begin with what are prepositions. So prepositions are statement students that could be either true or false. So here there are various types of prepositions. So here first is categorical prepositions and the other is hypothetical prepositions. So categorical prepositions are those which has unconditional judgment. What is there? There is unconditional judgment. Like if we are saying all rabbits are long ears. So there is no condition in this particular preposition. What we are saying? We are saying that all rabbits are having long ears, not one rabbit or two rabbits. We are talking about all the rabbits. Also, we are saying all cows are mammals. So here there is no condition. Directly we are saying that all cows are mammals. While the second type of preposition is hypothetical preposition. Here it expresses a conditional judgment. Okay, so here what will be? Here you will have a condition in this kind of preposition. For example, like if he studied, then he received a good grade. So there is a condition. Unless and until this particular boy studied, he will not receive a good grade. So the condition is he should study, then he will get a good grade. Another example is if we had eaten, then we would be hungry. If he had not eaten, what we are saying? We are saying that if he had not eaten, then he would be hungry. So the condition is to eat, then the person will not be hungry. So categorical proposition is those where then there is no condition. It is unconditional judgment, and hypothetical has a conditional judgment. There is a particular condition attached in this preposition. So for mood and figures, we use categorical proposition. So categorical proposition is one where there is unconditional judgment is there. And there are three main elements in categorical proposition. First is the subject. So the subject is the one about which something is said. For example, if we say that all men are hardworking. So here the subject is men because we are talking about men. So here the subject will be men. Predicate is that part which is affirmed or denied by the proposition. So here since we are saying are hardworking, so we are saying that 100% all men are hardworking. So predicate is hardworking. The quality of men is hardworking. Copula is the relationship between the subject and predicate. So here the term are is the copula. So the three elements are the subject, the predicate, and the copula. So for mood and figures, the three important elements is subject, predicate, and copula. Again, there is something called quantifier also. So quantifiers are the words that specify the quantity of the subject or predicate. So if we say the word all, it is a quantified. The word no, the word each, the word some is also a quantifier because it is telling us about the quantity. All means all the objects, no means none of the objects, each and all is the same, and some means some part of the object. Like all Indians are hardworking. So all means they are talking about each and every Indian. So all is the quantifier. It is telling us about the quantity. Indian is the subject because in this statement we are talking about Indians. So Indian is the subject. R is the copula and hardworking is the predicate. Again, I'm telling you subject is the first category of class, predicate is the second category. Copula is the link and quantifier tells us about the quantity of the subject. Okay, so these are the components of categorical proposition. It will be used to find mood and figures. So here in categorical syllogism, what is syllogism? Syllogism is an argument which has two premises and one conclusion. As you all know, the definition of argument is that there should be one or more premises and exactly one conclusion. But syllogism is that argument which has exactly two premises and one conclusion. So here, if you see, look at this example, there is statement 1, this statement 2, then you have a conclusion. So here statement 1 is saying some breads are milk, some milk are butter, and the conclusion is saying some butter are bread. So here there are three important things that you have to remember. The first is the major premise, the second is the minor premise, and the third the major term, the minor term, and the middle term. So here, first of all, I tell you about the middle term. So students, middle term is that term of the syllogism which is not present in the conclusion. For example, if you see, some bread are milk, some milk are butter. So here, if you see, milk is not there in the conclusion. The term milk is not present in the conclusion. So milk is the middle term. Major term. Major term is the term in the syllogism that is the predicate of the conclusion. So conclusion is this. What is the conclusion? Some butter are bread. So bread is the major term. The term which is the predicate of the conclusion is called the major term. The term that is the subject in the conclusion is called the minor term. Okay, so the term in a syllogism that is the subject of the conclusion is the minor term. If you look at the major term is the predicate in the conclusion, minor term is the subject in the conclusion, and middle term is the term that is not present in the conclusion but it is present both in subject as well as the in statement 1 and in statement 2. Okay, so here with this you will I hope you might have understand what is major term, minor term, and middle term. Again, I will repeat, the middle term is that term which is not present in the conclusion. The major term is the predicate. So here bread is the major term. The term butter is the subject in the conclusion. So this is the minor term. Minor term is the subject in the conclusion. Okay, so minor term is the subject, major term is the predicate in the conclusion. So butter is minor term, bread is major term, and milk is the middle term. Okay, understood? Now, one important thing to remember is in syllogism, each term is repeated twice. If you look at the previous example only, some bread are milk. So bread here is here and here. Milk is here and in the statement 1. And butter is here. Butter is in the second statement and in the subject of the conclusion. So here milk is repeated twice, butter is repeated twice, and bread is repeated twice. Again, I will tell you milk is in both the statements. So milk is the middle term. Okay, I will write it over here. Milk is the middle term. The predicate of the conclusion is the major term. So bread is the major term and butter is the subject of conclusion. So it is the minor term. Okay, so each term is repeated twice in a syllogism and it looks something like this. Now, what is mood? So mood of a categorical syllogism is a standard form, is a string of 3 letters. What it is a string of 3 letters, students. The form of the major premise, minor premise, and conclusion of the syllogism. For example, if you look at this, no mammals are birds. So if you remember square of opposition, if you remember there are 4 types of categorical proposition. First is all type, then we have E type, then we have I type and O type. So A is when it starts with the word all, E is when it starts with the word no, I is when it starts with the word some, and O is which starts with some and has not also in the statement or in the preposition. So all means A, no means E, some means I, and some not means O. So we have 5 vowels in English letters A, E, I, O, if U. But for categorical syllogism, we use only 4, A, E, I, and O. So to find the mood of a syllogism, we first have to find out whether it is a type, E type, I type, or O kind of preposition. So no mammals are bird. If you look at this, it is a E type of preposition. While all mammals are animals is a type of preposition, and no animals are birds. So no animals are bird is a E type of preposition. So the mood of this particular syllogism is EAE. So mood is a string of 3 letters which tells you about the mood of the categorical syllogism. So how do you find the mood? First you look at the statement and then you see whether if it is A type, E type, I type, or O type, and then you write it like this. Okay. So first will be the first statement, then second statement, and the conclusion. Right? Next. Next is figure. What is figure? The figure of a categorical syllogism is the position of the middle term. What is it, students? It is the position of the middle term. So as I told you that we studied about mood, but figure is, it tells where the middle term is present in the categorical syllogism. For example, P is the major term and S is the minor term. Okay, students, you have to remember P is the major term and S is the minor term, right? So here the statement like M is the major term, a middle term, then P is the major term, S is the minor term, M is the middle term. So here the position is like this. What is the position? The first figure has position of middle term is like this. So this is the first figure. When the middle term is towards the right side, students, what you have to remember that it is in the second figure, it is present in the right side, then it is second figure. If the middle term is present on the left hand side, then it is called the third figure, and the fourth figure has the middle term like this. So first figure has middle term like this ways, the second figure has middle term on the right side, the third figure has middle terms on the left side, and the fourth figure has middle term diagonally like this. Okay. So I hope you might have understood. Again, I'm repeating. P is the major term, S is the minor term, and M is the middle term. And the position of the middle term will help you to identify the figure of a categorical position. So figure is the position of the middle term. So this is the arrow through which I have tried to draw. You can also remember it is the first figure is left to right. Okay. The second figure is right to right. The third figure is left to left, and the fourth figure is left to right. So you can also remember it like this. The first is left, right. Then you have left, right, and right. Now this will become the opposite of left, right. So the opposite of right and right is left and left. And the opposite of, okay, here it will be right to left. So here M is at the right position and here middle term is in the left position. So it is like this. This way is the first figure. Right hand side is the second figure. Left hand side is the third figure. And diagonally like this, it is the fourth figure. This is how you find the figure of a categorical preposition. Now, how do you find the validity of a syllogistic forms? So here there are students, if you look at this, in a mood, there are 3 terms, okay? And here in 3 places, there could be 4 letters, A, E, I, and O. The same way, 4 letters will come in the second part of the mood, second letter of the mood, and 4 letters will come in the third part of the mood. As you all know, mood is a 3-letter string. So here Here A can come, E can come, I can come, and O can come. Here also A, E, I, O can come, and here also A, E, I, and O can come. So here if you look at permutation and combination, you have 4 into 4 into 4. So total there can be 64 combinations. So there could be 64 combination of A, E, I, and O in this 3 string. Now if you consider figure also, there could be 64 into 4. So this could be 256. So here there are 256 cases of moods and figures. Okay, of which there are 25 of them are valid syllogistic forms. From these 25 valid syllogistic forms, 15 are unconditionally valid and 9 are conditionally valid. Okay, so here let me tell you in detail. This is the example of a unconditionally valid syllogistic form. So here Aristotle has given his trick of remembering the unconditionally valid syllogistic form. So here the name Barbara. In the name Barbara, you remove all the consonants. B is a consonant, R is a consonant. So what do you get? A 1. Celerant is you remove C, L, R, N and T. So what do you get? E, A, E. That is figure 1. Dari is A, I is figure 1. Ferio is E, I, O, and this is figure 1. The same way for figure 2 you have Chemistries, Caesar, Festino, Barocco. For figure 3 you have Detici, Dimasis, Ferrison and Boccardo. For figure 4 you have Alimis, Demaris, Ferrison. So like this you have, if you count them, this is total 15 unconditionally valid syllogistic forms. So total actually you have 24 valid syllogistic form. From there 15 are unconditionally valid and you have 9 as conditionally valid. Okay. So Barbara, Celerant, Dari, Ferrio, Chemistries, Caesar, Festino, Barocco, Datici, Dismasis, Ferrison, Boccardo, Calimes, Demaris, Ferrison. Okay, so here, now you understood, students, these are 15 unconditionally valid syllogistic forms. Now these are 9 conditionally valid syllogistic forms. Which in figure 1 is AAI, EAO. Figure 2 is EAO, AEO and EAO. Figure 3 is AAI and EAO. Figure 4 is AEO or EAO and AAI. So this is all about moods and figures. I told you what are, now I'll summarize you. See, for moods and figures, first you have to know what is categorical proposition. A categorical proposition is the one which relates to, there is an unconditional judgment is there, and it finds out the relationship between two classes. Okay, we like all cats are dogs. So the all cats are dogs. So here cats is the subject, dog is the predicate, are is the copula, and if I write here all cats are dogs, then all is a quantifier. Now in a valid syllogistic form there are two premises and one conclusion. So if we put them in valid standard form, then there will be two major premise, two major term and minor term, and one conclusion term. So middle term is the term which is not present in conclusion. The major term is the predicate of conclusion and the minor term is the subject of conclusion. Okay, so now here also what is a mood? A mood is a 3-letter string. What is it? It is a 3-letter string like AAA. So AAA is your mood of a syllogistic form. It could be A, E, A also, E, A, I also. So like this, there could be different moods. For figures, what you have to remember, for figure, the position of the middle terms tell you the figure of a syllogistic form. If it is like this is the first figure. If the middle term is on the right side, right to right, it is the second figure. If the middle term is in the left hand side, left to left, it is the third figure. And if it is right to left, then it is the fourth figure. Okay, and in total you have, like, there could be, you can have 64 combinations of these moods. If you take figure also in consideration, there can be 56 cases. From these 56 cases, you have 15 as unconditionally valid and 9 as conditionally valid. Okay, so here 15 you have unconditionally valid and 9 as conditionally valid. So this is all about moods and figures. See you in the next video. Bye.